Sorry. Hello, hello, hello. This is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and these wonderful people have joined me tonight and agreed to play silly games with me, and that makes me happy. So let's get the
Victor and
technical.
I are backwards.
Oh, I did it again. It's no, you guys.
Actually, I'm in there twice.
Hang on. What now? Hey, I fixed this. This isn't. I did. I waited till I wasn't looking and it changed. Bam. Nope, that's not the right one. That's you.
Gosh.
That's you. Hang on. Which one's that?
I'm still a little confused why I'm in there twice, but
Yeah, you shouldn't be. Hang on. That's Baron. That's Bigford. That's Idicus. And this. That's weird. Okay, hang on. You guys get to see behind the magical screen as I fix my stupidity. Go way over here. La 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 la. So while I'm doing this, I'm gonna fill in the. I'll do the technicals now. It's a good time to do it while I'm doing this stupid foolishness. Our virtual tabletop of choice is Roll20. Character art was done using Hero Forge. Most of the other art that you see in this is from the Storm King's Thunder campaign, which is about 10% more than we're actually using of the plot. There you go, you're fixed. Beowulf, Idicus, Bigford, and Varen. Hurrah. Live streaming. All right. So that's the things. Let's do it. Let's do this game. Oh, no, we got to do the people first. Right. Sarah, where can we find you? What are you doing? What can you talk about this week?
I have stuff coming up. I just can't talk about it yet.
Excellent. Okay. Many things to talk about in the future. Solar, how you doing? It's been a while.
Good. I'm ready to play.
Excellent. Oh, so good to hear. Bigford, I'm just doing these quick because I want to get into this game. This is going to be fun. Bigford, you streamed this week, didn't you?
I think so. I don't remember.
I think, yeah.
It's kind of a blur. Last work's been a little weird, so my brain hasn't been thinking.
That's okay because I called you by your character name. Bison.
So yeah.
You
can find me on my Twitch, which I forgot to put on the thing.
It's okay. They can find that at the Discord, which Solar's way ahead of us on.
That's true. You can find me on the Discord. That's when I actually post my stuff because I'm terrible at actually keeping a schedule.
You don't have to have a schedule. It's not network TV. How many times do I have to say this?
That's true. So yeah, other than Tuesdays, you can find me on Saturday on the new game here, Harlequin Redux. I play Feedback, and we're just getting into it.
Yeah, for our premiere episode last night. It was good fun. And finally, definitely not least, but definitely last, because we ran out of people, Noctum Sky, thank you for joining us so much. And you're doing lots of stuff. I saw you and the Mighty Dipper Dog are co-streaming all over the place.
Yeah, I just hop over there sometimes whenever she wants co-hosts to hang out and talk to. It's a good excuse to just hang out. But you can also find me over on YouTube at Noctum Sky. Links in the chat. You can also find it on the Discord. I've been playing a lot of Cult of the Lamb lately. It's what everybody seems to be playing right now. It's a lot of fun. Spooky, creepy. I love it.
Excellent. That's how you do it. All right, thank you. So, with that... I want to announce it now, and I'm going to announce it again at the end. We have a new show, a one-shot coming up this Wednesday. New GM to the channel. They've been GMing for ages. They're very good at it. I'm watching them prep in their own channels, and they are on their game. Eddie is going to be running a game for us with two folks that are new to our channel, as far as having played with us before, and two from our sort of long-standing group. So I'm looking forward to this one a lot. That is Wednesday, starts at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern, same time as everything else. And that will be a one-shot called Poseidon's Promise. So that's enough of that. Let's get to this. I want to start in the boat. Idicus, you're in the hold of the boat. You're in a very narrow space, actually, between floors, because this boat, you can see, you've looked up into the casino, and you've passed, while you were sneaking around down here with the frog, you've passed over a storage area and an area where there were a bunch of rowers that are getting ready to set out. This boat is apparently just about to leave the dock. Above you, somebody has screamed, "Ah!" And then I'm going to slightly rephrase what they said last week. Somebody says, 50 gold geese for the person who brings me that fucking frog. There's a rush towards the doors. The frog... Oh, go. Yeah.
The minute I hear it, I'm running the other way.
Excellent. The frog is right beside you. Just... You get over the storage area, and he kind of jumps in front of you and stops and looks for all the world like he's grinning at you. Just big ribbit. And he jumps down through the gaps into the storage area, but on top of the crates. There's only about this much space between the crates and the roof. And he starts moving towards the door that they're all going to come through.
I'm gonna hide.
Oh, yeah. I mean, are you staying up here in this level?
I'm just anywhere I can find like a small enough hole for me to get
Oh, yeah.
in and under.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, like there's this space between the two decks, right? Because the spars of a ship, or not spars, wrong word, the ribs of the ship are quite wide. So there's a space, this big, which for you is laying on your belly. That's lots of room to hide. And then he's gone between the gaps and down into the storage area below you on top of all these boxes of cargo. And so you hide. I don't need to roll. You got 96. Nobody can see you for anywhere. But you watch as the frog very carefully walks over to the top crate that's right by the door. And the door slams open, and the first drunk patron walks in, and the frog just turns around and kicks him right in the face. Whap! And you hear a big sloppy, like clawed, open, webbed foot. Just whap! And the guy just goes down, just poof, hits the ground. You hear ribbit. There's a brief pause. Interrupt at any time. Another one comes in.
He's just gonna sit and watch.
Yep.
And he'll put Fred away and pull out his bow.
Yep. Perfect. So the second one comes in and he kicks him again, but this one he actually kicks lower on the shoulder. He kicks him to the side to a place where you have a clear line of sight. And then resets, and the next one that comes in catches the full frog heel. Like there's not even a slappy foot this time. It's just crack, the sound of breaking bone, and another one goes down. Plunk.
I take I will fire a shot at the guy who you put into my line.
Absolutely.
Like, okay, this is what we're doing.
With advantage, they have no idea where you are. Sneak attack, the whole bonus. So yeah. Or sorry, advantage and the whole sneak attacks and everything's.
Okay. So 24.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, this is a commoner. I mean, you stick him to the wall. It's just thung. Ugh. And he looks down and he's kind of doing that thing where he's trying to pull the arrow out. And then he just... he's dead. There's a moment and flap, another one gets kicked over towards you. And they stop coming.
Yep, taking the shot.
Okay, go ahead.
18.
These are commoners. I mean, yeah, every one of them. Yeah, flap. You now have two of them pinned to the wall side by side. That door stops. They stop coming in that door, and you see the frog turns to you. And I mean, it's hard to tell whether he winked or not because frogs kind of blink independently, but it sure looked like a wink. And then he kind of flat crawls over towards another door. Like he's so far ahead of them, it's ridiculous.
I'll copy the frog.
Okay, you just drop down on top of the stuff and crawl over by that door, and he just, as you get there, he grins at you, and just like looks down to see what you're gonna do, and then the door starts to open, and you see him start to cock his leg. Meanwhile, behind a bar in the middle of Yartar, the three of you appear: Beowulf, Bickford, and Varen. The other two are nowhere to be seen. We've been doing a little retcon here. They did not make it. As Idicus was told before the teleportation, if you're not thinking of the right place, you don't go to the right place. So they didn't get here. The three of you did. The three of you noticed a bit of an uproar. People are running. There's an uproar down on the docks where the boat is that you've seen in the sort of the images. And as soon as there was an uproar, at least one of you went, "Oh, that's where Idicus is." But it's kind of odd because there's an uproar, but people are running towards it, not away from it. And every once in a while you hear 50 golden geese, 50 golden geese. And then weirdly, just before you get a chance to talk, you hear kill the frog.
Not the weirdest thing I've seen happen in Yartar. That's probably where Idicus is.
Think we should make our way over there then?
Sounds like a plan. Varen, you coming?
Like wrangling this corpse,
Yes,
trying to
that's-
figure
yes,
out.
you still have the giant corpse, yes.
Well,
Forgot.
Oh yeah, Beowulf is crawling out of the trash can. We had
That's
because of
right.
his
You
role,
guys hit the
that
gas
he
can.
fell into the
gas
trash
can,
can.
Yeah, trash can, yeah. So yes, you've got a dead giant that you still have an hour with. Yep, okay.
I mean, do I think people are distracted enough not to notice an undead giant? I ask, feeling
there
like
is-
I know the answer.
There is precisely one way to find that out.
Well, then, yeah, I'm like, I mean, y'all lead the way. I'll be right behind you. Again, trying, you can see him doing the mental math. There's like an elbow wedged in between two buildings, and it's like, I gotta Jenga this guy out.
Yep. Oh yeah. Because that's a very good point. You actually have to, like, left arm, right arm. You have to think for him, right? So you get them worked out and into the hallway. Some people look. But A, this is Yartar. B, there's something going on down at the docks. And C, just as your giant stands up in the street, so the three of you and the giant are now out in this sort of semi-main street in Yartar, you hear the crashing of a large amount of wood splintering, like big wood, like a building. And completely the other direction, away from the boat, the other side of the city, that's where you hear that sound. Does anybody look?
Beowulf will.
I mean, you kind of
Yes.
would, right? Just you look just in time to see another rock come over a nearby hill. I mean, this isn't 600 feet like a longbow shot. This is 10 times that. This is from over a nearby ridge. And the rock isn't, your first thought is, oh, giants throw rocks. But even giants throw rocks this big, right? This is half the size of a car coming from over the horizon almost. And it smashes into the city again. You see it take out about a block. It just... Luckily, the ground in Yartar is quite muddy and soft, so it doesn't skid. It just kind of makes a big crater and damages about a block each time one of these hits.
Don't tell me that big ship is back.
I thought the vampire took care of that. Probably a new problem.
What? Another block disappears.
Should we
Um,
check
can't
that out or go look for Idicus?
Beowulf, you should probably look for Idicus. Varen, you have the giant. I think we should probably go to.
Oh man, I
Now,
love this.
to be
plan.
clear, the source of the flinging stones is a mile away.
How long is that in giant stride?
That is narrative time, in no
Oh,
matter how
fair
you're
enough.
getting there. Yes.
I don't know if we have
Okay, so
enough
we
time
have a-
to get over there.
In other words,
Yes,
we
you
have a
do.
timer.
Nope, you can. You absolutely can get over there, and we can have all three encounters at once, and I love this.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so the two of you head out of town. That's where we're going to kind of leave the two of you. Beowulf, you charge towards the bay or the river and the boat. That flow of people that was heading down before, all those people that were very excited about these golden chips, and killing this frog are now kind of torn, and some of them are turning around and going back, but lots of them are still going this way. You just continue down in that direction. It is so easy to get there because there's so much mayhem in this city right now. And as you crash down onto the dock, you can see there's a guard post where the dock, the extension goes up to the boat. But there's no one at it. They've pulled back up onto the boat itself. And people are still coming and going off of the boat. What do you do?
He's going to use his sense of smell
Yep.
to try and find out where on the boat that Idicus is
Oh, okay.
and see if he can make his way over there.
Absolutely. Yep. Give me a advantage roll, please. 24. Yes. You gotta sort of work through the smell of the brine and the fish and the seaweed and all that sort of. No, this is a river. None of that exists. You have to get over the smell of the river and all of that, which in the city is probably pretty rancid, to be fair. You can smell where Idicus is, but it's weird because they're not on the top deck and they're not on the first covered deck. And they're not down in the bottom with the rowers. They're somewhere in between.
Leave it to Idicus to get in the middle of all this mess in a weird way.
Yeah. So
He'll
yes,
quietly
there's
say to
to be
himself.
clear,
So
there's the thing that goes out to the walkway, whatever it's called, that goes out to the boat. There's also the oar holes in the side where the rowers will be rowing later, and then there's the top deck. You could get into any of those.
now, as he's looking
Garbage
through the
engine oil.
holes where the oars are, does he see the rowers there, or has it been abandoned for now?
You look in there and you can see the rowers are sort of limbering up. They're getting ready for a night's work. Greasing
And there's
the oarlocks
people-
or whatever you do. I don't know. I've
Yeah,
never been in.
there's people coming off and on the boat.
Yeah, the people coming off the boat are looking scared. The people going on the boat are looking greedy. There's apparently
So
a
he's gonna look
bounty on
for-
a frog. That's all you've heard about.
Yeah, he's looking for a group that goes together to get on, and he'll
Yep.
kind of
Just
Try
blend
and
in. Absolutely.
blend in real quick to get on.
Yep, and you make it onto the boat. You look towards the back of the boat, the stern, and you see that you're standing in the casino, but there's almost nobody gambling. They're almost all at the back of the cabin, trying to cram themselves down 2 flights of stairs, one on each side of the ship. You notice at least one of the dealers, making sure nobody is looking, is reaching out and pinching chips off of the top of some of the players' piles that they've left behind.
All right, hold on just a second.
Perfect. Idicus. The frog is at the other door just waiting. You're now right there with them. So did you want to be sort of in melee range now rather than...
No, I'd rather stay back. And...
Absolutely. Okay. So you line up a spot. The door opens just a little tiny bit. And the frog kicks out with his back foot and catches the door with the claws and just pulls. And in the process, the door opens and pulls the next hapless commoner into the room. Boom, boom, boom. But there's people behind and going up a flight of stairs. So the next one comes in. Boom, 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 boom. They're stacked, absolutely solid, coming down the stairs trying to get into this room.
Okay. Yeah, that face I made, that's
Yeah.
his, like,
Yeah.
I'm very confused,
Yep.
but I know I'm gonna lose a Fred if I
Uh-huh.
don't protect him.
Yes. So, what do you do?
I'm gonna get down from my spot and just watch for a little bit now.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
there's something else going on, and Idicus is slowly figuring that out and going,
Yep.
What's this?
Yep.
What'd I get myself into?
So
Oops.
they kind of look back at you, and this time instead of grinning, they nod. And they turn back and jump down off of the crate and onto this pile of humanity that's coming through the door. and just starts laying waste. It's just body after body. They're unconscious, not dead. Every single one of them is only unconscious. Just boom, 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 out the door. Give me an insight check.
Can I roll nature?
Sure.
Is it
Yes.
a frog?
Yep. You see if you speak frog better than you speak insight.
14.
That's enough. The frog was impressed when you stopped killing them. Beowulf. Okay, one more sentence. Yeah, go.
He's just gonna put his bow away and pull out Fred and just like start walking away.
Oh, I didn't mean to shame Iticus. The frog did it. It wasn't me.
Oh, it's not shame. It's just pure confusion.
Okay, good. I'm all right with Iticus being confused. Iticus is always confused. So Bickford and Varen, you guys head out of town and cover the distance amazingly quickly. It's a road of speedy plot that leads you to this hill crest.
Looks pretty fast for a dead guy.
Your giant, I guess your giant's carrying you. So there you go, and running. So yeah, that doesn't take long. As you crest this little hill, not the hill, I mean, it's a ridgeline. As you crest it, you see on the other side that wicker giant, the giant's inside the wicker giant frame, standing in a quarry, throwing huge rocks at the city of Yartar.
Bickford swears in goblin under his breath.
Quick reminder, this is imagine a big wicker, and I mean big wicker giant filled with giants. So there's a giant that makes up the foot and part of the lower leg, and then there's another giant that is the calf of each side and the knee, and then another giant that's the 2 or 3 in the hips. That's just, imagine a hollow giant that's 100 feet tall filled with 30 giants.
Are they alive or are they?
They are undead.
Cool. Who you talked about that, and I point to Bickford. I'm like, who?
Near as we can figure, there's a lich involved, and he made whatever the fuck that is.
Should we do something about it? Looking at like a giant as opposed to my giant, which normally I'd be really confident in its ability, but this is worse. This is one giant versus a bigger giant.
Speaking of which, as you have this conversation, the wicker giant reaches down and picks up a rock and looks up like it's about to throw it again, and its eyes kind of drift down to you, the wicker head. There's like 3 giants crammed together inside this basket of a head, and it sees you and changes its footing and throws at your giant. I shouldn't say sees you, it sees your giant. I mean, you guys are on the crest of a hill. It rolled at 27 to hit. So you don't need to check. It hit. Your giant, it just takes a smart car in the chest at full speed. It just and is knocked back. It took you a while to get here. It only had a couple minutes left. And it just shatters. The whole rib cage is gone. The 2 of you are just dropped to the ground and need dexterity saves, please.
Not dexterity.
While I decide whether it sees the little tiny U's or not.
Let's see. Oh, that's a crit fail.
Okay.
Oh my.
I am not dexterous.
Did I not roll this?
And
Oh, plus minus 2. I did. Wow. Okay. 10. Yeah. The 2 of you. I mean, you're only 10 feet up, so you take 1d6 each. So just keep it fast. Bickford, you take 6. Look at me rolling.
3 damage.
And
I'm a rogue.
because you're a rogue. And Varen, you take 4. As you crash to the ground, and sort of twist an ankle on the rocks as you land. It reaches around, picking for another rock. That's what I rolled the 16 for. It turns down and picks up another rock and looks up again and drops the rock and starts to walk towards where you are.
So you got a plan for this kind of thing?
Kind of just winging it. Well, what can you do?
Bunch of undead in a wicker frame.
I don't do fire. I look at him. I'm like, I don't have fire. Do you have fire? Fire would be good.
Actually, most of my stuff is cold. Because the shadow fell.
Yeah.
He's going to cast invisibility on Varen and then hide.
Okay,
Because he's stealthy.
perfect.
And
Give
he
me
knows
a
Varen
stealth roll then.
isn't.
And I don't believe in rolling with advantage for stealth. If they literally can't see you, you're freaking hidden.
15.
Yeah, you've got time before it gets here. You get hidden well, and Varen, yeah, you're completely invisible. It storms in up to this crest, this hill that you were just on, and starts like tearing through the remains, which are, I mean, they're undead, but it was alive pretty recent ago. So just pulling through the bits and pieces, and finally, it looks around and stands up again and looks down at the city. Let's do a roll. I don't usually do this, but
How
let's see.
close is it to us? Like
It's
touching distance or like?
close enough that if you did a little wriggle, you're invisible. You could walk right up to it.
I'm wearing full plate though. Is the
I
But
don't
yeah,
care. It's not listening. Yeah.
okay, cool.
6.
Then I'll walk. I'm gonna try to grab onto its like ankle and like just get up on the ankle a little bit.
Okay.
Since I'm invisible.
Yep. Give me an acrobatics.
Aye, Captain.
10.
That is a 10.
Because I want this to happen. You miss. I mean, you kind of try and grab part of the wicker, and you miss. But then you get caught like kind of on the cloak by a branch, and it kind of lifts you up, and it's like, I meant to do that, and grab on. So you're kind of swinging like somebody trying not to lose their feet under a train that they just jumped. But you are on board as it makes its decision by rolling less than a 10 and heads towards Yartar.
Yeah, Bickford's gonna, I guess, grab onto the other leg.
Okay, give it acrobatics.
A little bit better at acrobatics than.
When will you learn? You never say these things before you roll. Well, you never mind. 19. Yeah,
Except for this time it worked.
you mount with style. You're on and in control. Varen, you're on. This thing is striding down the hill towards town. Beowulf, you're on the ship. These people are pouring down the stairs. All of a sudden, it's like somebody unplugs a drain. They start coming back up one of the flights of stairs. Some of them voluntarily, most of them not. They're just getting pushed out. Just a boom, 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 boom as they're coming out.
Okay, he's gonna look around real quick
Yep.
as those guys are flying up, and hoping to distract the rest that aren't flying up.
Yeah.
And on the other side, he's going to let out a large howl.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yep.
And then just
Scream
run
frog.
for the stairs where those people are flying out,
Yeah.
because he figures that's probably where Iticus is.
Yep. Absolutely.
Follow the mayhem.
So give me an intimidation roll. I want to see this. I was going to just let it happen, but we're rolling dice and it's going well, so bugger it. Let's pretend we're playing a game instead of telling a story. A 9. It's not that intimidating, but you are a large body coming at them at speed, and you are, let's face it, a werewolf. As far as they're concerned, you're a transformed beast form like werewolf. That's all that they would know. So these commoners, these people were out for a night of adventure, were first given the opportunity of a lifetime. All they had to do was kill a little tiny frog, and they were going to get enough chips to gamble for months. And then things went wrong. Things went frog-shaped. And then, just as they were leaving and deciding it was a very bad idea to stay where they were, they are now confronted with apparently, because you howled and screamed, like almost a rabid werewolf. And they just start going out the windows. Just boom, The ones on this side are fine because they're going out on the dock. They take a little bit of damage. They're all rolling 1d6 damage as they jump off. But the ones that panic and go off the other side are going in the river, and you can hear the occasional ah! Oh, Harold, you idiot! As she goes off the other side and turns an ankle. Shit! I rolled a 4. Ow! 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 Sorry. What are you doing?
Are we playing some kind of game or something? Anyway.
I got one more sentence. Beowulf, the last of the people comes out of the door, and it's like they're part of an airplane evacuation now. They're just following each other. There's just tubes coming out and going out the windows, right? They're just gone. And then when it all stops, you hear ribbit, and this frog about this big. It was bigger than a regular frog, but it's still only about this big. Comes up the stairs, one stair at a time. Stands up on its little froggy back legs and goes. And sits back down.
Must be a friend of Iticus's.
At the word Iticus, one of its eyes goes and looks down the stairs behind it.
Yep.
I know frogs don't do that, but this one does. It's kind of a special frog.
It's a magical frog. I don't give a caca.
It's an NPC frog with no stats. It's one of those.
So when Beowulf sees the frog kind of pointing down the stairs,
Frog X.
Beowulf's just going to walk up like right next to it.
Yeah.
Then look down the stairs and say, "Come on up, Iticus. Everything is okay now."
Iticus? We cut to you
I
in the
was-
basement.
Already coming up at
Yeah.
this point.
So yeah, as you look up to say that, Iticus is just marching up the stairs. So the two of you are back together. This boat is all but empty on this floor. There's 2 people left. There's the even the dealers, the croupiers have all left. There's only 2 people left. One is an older elven woman who looks like she was in charge of the till. And she's sitting there on a just on a little stool in the corner and has not moved one muscle this whole time. The other one is clearly, from the way they're dressed, the owner of this boat/casino. And they're looking at you like they'd like to storm over and start giving you all kinds of grief. But between the 2 of you and the frog,
Beowulf is going to open one of his pockets and as if to wordlessly say, "Come on and jump in and you can walk with me."
the frog looks at you and nods, and then in very quick succession just goes, hop, 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 hop. It's way faster than you.
Okay.
It's a magic frog.
Magic frog can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So, Beowulf offers Iticus to piggyback, because I know Beowulf is faster than Iticus.
Yeah. Iticus, what are you doing?
Yeah, he'll
Okay.
he'll take it.
So Beowulf will then, knowing the frog will probably follow, walk up to the owner.
Mm-hmm.
"I'm sorry for disrupting your lovely little party, but my friend was in danger. Now that my friend is not in danger, we shall leave and let you have your fun."
Came here to gather, just to answer the question, you came here to gather information that might lead to finding where Hecaton is.
Thank you.
You guys saw this boat and then the dotted line to
Oh, that's
the
right.
Uncharted Isles, where there was a boat that looked like a kraken.
Okay. Yeah, I had forgotten that. Sorry. So, basically,
Well-timed
what I'm
question.
guessing is, as Beowulf is saying these words, Iticus kind of bonks him on the head, and then he remembers why they're there.
Yes. Yeah.
And he politely reiterates why they're there, and trying to see if maybe he can just go ahead and ride with them to what their next destination was. going to be.
We just go out every
Having-
night and come back every morning. It's not a long haul thing. That other stuff, I don't know what you're talking about. Both of you give me an insight check. Beowulf with advantage. This is technically smell based because pheromones don't lie. Oh, Idicus nailed it.
25.
Yep, Idicus nailed it.
Got your eyes locked on this tricksy
Yeah.
human.
Oh yeah, you've seen this crap before. Beowulf 12s, not so much. This is perfect. Beowulf, you don't see this, but Idicus with your raised position, you see they're lying. They're absolutely lying. They know all about this.
I'll just kind of like nudge,
Yeah.
nudge. Oh wait, he speaks giant.
Yes.
So in giant, not true. Lie.
X to dollars.
Okay, so well, upon hearing this, Beowulf is going to turn from this happy, jolly creature to this vicious-looking, nasty-ass wolf.
Yep. Just full transformed.
Just fully transforms from the kind, gentle one to
Wrinkly
actually
nose.
he's
Yeah.
chaotic.
Oh yeah,
neutral
it's coming
person.
hard. Yeah. So
So he's just gonna go up. He's gonna gently set Idicus down, walk right up to the guy, grab him, and just like bomb him against the wall, and say, "Son, don't you dare lie to me. I want the truth now. Frickin' give it to me, or you're gonna learn what it's like to be attacked by a wolf."
give me an intimidation roll with advantage. You get advantage for excellent role play. Ta-da. 19.
19.
It's
Oh.
like it's this is while they do own this boat, so they're a little tougher than your average person. They're still a city dwelling commoner. They're not an adventurer. They're not level anything. He's almost unable to speak, and then out of your pocket this little tiny frog just marches up your uniform and stands on your shoulder and gives him the like frog eye, stinky frog eye, and that's it. He cracks, and he starts. I'll tell you everything you want to know, and he and it's like It's not like he has obviously just been hit with a massive, massive strike of pain to his head. You can see him crunching so hard you can hear his teeth grinding. I'm not going to do that. I wear dentures. I don't want to break them. Just, I can't tell you. It won't let me tell you. Hurry, then kill me.
Beowulf is kind of taken aback by the fact that this guy is now in pain.
Yep.
He in back the back of his mind, he's like, "You didn't throw him against the wall that hard. What the
Nope.
hell?"
Nope. This is definitely not that.
And then he looks at the frog.
Idicus. I'm going to stretch your 25 insight just a little bit. Something did that to him. Something got inside his head and did that to him when he tried to tell you the information you need to know.
Is there a bucket around?
Yes.
I'm gonna take the bucket
Yeah.
and put it on the guy's head,
Yep.
trying to protect his head from whatever's coming in.
A tinfoil bucket attempt. This is so good. Yeah. You grab the bucket. I just had to. I was like, how is this gonna work? How's this gonna work? Nope. Metal banded bucket. We're fine. It passes the tinfoil hat test. It's got metal in it. You jump up on the chair. You jump up on the table. You run across the table, and he's just looking at you, but he can't even move. He's in so much pain, right? Like migraine level pains, and just slam the bucket onto his already unbelievably painful headache. And there's just kind of this gong sound as it hits, and you hear, oh, what do you want to know? What do you want to know? You don't know if it helped or not, but he's at least talking.
He repeats the information he wants to know. 'Cause I can't remember.
Oh, you're looking for
The
a
player,
king. You're
the
looking
player
for a
can't
king.
remember the.
You're looking for
the
King
player can't remember the
Hecaton.
character.
You're looking for King Hecaton, who is apparently on that boat out at the Uncharted Isles, the one that looks like a
Yes.
kraken. At the mention of kraken, you hear from inside the bucket another scream, just "Ah!" And then, yeah, he pulls up the sleeve of his jacket. Like you can tell that this is taking everything he's got, and he just rips the sleeve of his jacket up, and on the inside of his forearm here, there's a tattoo. It's a vague set of islands that's constantly shifting and moving. And then on it, there's a little picture of that Kraken boat. And it just keeps, moving around and moving around and moving around. He looks down. Take it. He gets hit by another wall of pain. Yep. The knife comes out.
I'm not there.
The great sword comes out as well.
Okay. So that was an across the city swing. We'll get you guys the second. I was gonna go several times, but I can't get away from the story right now. We're almost done this bit.
No
So-
worries.
So he takes out his great sword,
Yeah.
thinks a moment, then I'm a wolf. I got flipping claws. He puts the sword away and
Yeah,
decides to
just-
go ahead and do an unarmed strike with his
Yeah.
claws.
Don't worry about the attack. He's helping you, and you just tear off that piece of skin. Content warning. Too late. You rip that off, and you see it stays animated, so you can use it as an animated map. At that moment, well, here we go. We yes, that was a content warning, but you covered up another one because inside the bucket you hear poof, and the bucket kind of just settles down on his shoulders, and he slumps to the floor.
Beowulf gently lays him down. Just remember, Beowulf is still holding the.
Yep.
Was well.
I
he
assume you
was
just
still holding
ripped
it when
off
he
the
swiped. Yeah.
piece of skin. Yeah, that's all you needed.
No, he didn't take the skin. He took the whole arm.
Okay, you got the whole arm from the wrist. Yeah, from the elbow down. All right, that works too. Okay, put that in your inventory.
Some dude's arm.
With that, the lady gets up off of her stool and without even looking at you just walks out down the gangplank. I finally remembered the bloody word. And as they get to the end of the gangplank, they turn around and grab the ropes and just pull. And the gangplank comes off and drops into the water. The rowers below deck start to get ready. The two of you appear to be in charge of an all but empty ship. Meanwhile, I have to cut away there because you're about to
No,
leave.
no,
I can't let you leave without the other two, so we have to cut away.
I was actually gonna make a little statement real quick with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Beowulf's gonna look to Iticus and say, "Stay put. Don't do anything stupid. Play with the chips." He's gonna run up the stairs
Yeah.
to get to the deck itself, the top deck.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna let out the biggest, loudest howl,
Okay,
hoping
I get
to
you.
reach Bigford and the others
Yep.
to say, "Move your asses!" Basically, like say, "Move your asses
Yep.
over here now."
The come here howl, come hither howl. Well, that's a different thing. That's different
That's
phrasing.
completely different.
Yeah.
How.
So with that, we snap back across. We're sort of half an hour or half a mile from the city of Yartar. This 100-foot tall wicker giant made of undead giants stamping towards the city. What do you do? You're riding it, by the way, on its feet.
Yeah, Bigford's kind of been slowly making his way up,
Okay.
with the intent of finding some sort of central, I don't know, power source. He's thinking that maybe this thing works like a golem.
Give me a nature check from where you are. Actually, I'll even give you this because I want to give you an action after this. But you can have to earn the information.
Natura.
Ooh, good thing you got that
10.
10. There are like fibers connecting all of these giants inside together. They look like ligaments. They kind of flex and bend. It's what's holding the whole structure together. So there probably isn't a central core.
Damn.
It's probably a group entity thing.
Okay. So,
We're both climbing.
Yep. If you have plans that need things, ask me.
Do we? If we
Yeah.
both are making our way up, can I like convene with him? I know I'm.
Oh
still
yeah, right
invisible.
at the crotch. Yes, you're one on each foot. Okay, the ass, if you prefer, if that's better. But either way, as you start to crawl up, these undead giants inside are not insensate. They are aware that you're there, and their hands try and reach outside to try and grab you, but they can't get through the framework. So you get like a giant finger comes out in front of you and then pulls back in because it can't grab you. But that's happening the whole way up.
Ugh. So does it have eyes? Is my main question.
The you guys saw it when you were when it was close and looking down at the wreckage above you. It's in place of eyes. There's one giant sort of each where the cheekbones would be, and their heads are sort of acting as the eyes.
oh, that's not creepy at all.
No, not at all.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
Once we convene, if I see him, like I'll kind of tap him to let him know I'm there, and I'll be like, "Hey, do you have a plan? Because I have like half of a plan, but like I'd rather have a full plan."
Yeah, I don't really have much of a plan. I was looking for some central thing to break to cause this thing to go down.
Okay.
But
Alternatively, I can give you my half plan. Remember
That
back
sounds-
in the water temple is what I'm going to call it because I don't remember and I don't really do this often. So, news for me. And all the while I'm still climbing.
Yep.
Like
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming we're both headed up. I could do something that shows that I'm kind of undead, and if it's enough to confuse me if that was my patron or not, maybe I can confuse it that we work for the same guy. I don't know though. I don't know that that'll work.
I want this conversation to happen as you guys are climbing up the back of the thighs, because the camera just hangs in space, and in each turn, like the leg comes in, you say your bit and swing out, and then the other one comes in and says their bit and swings out, like the Muppet Show dance scenes used to be. That's how that filmed in my head. So
But that's a good thing to try, but like I don't know how it's gonna go.
he's just thinking, so if I break part of the structure, oh shit, that would just release giants.
but they are all sort of tied together.
They all are sort of tied together.
Just cause.
Yeah.
So yes, yep, breaking that's absolutely an option.
Yeah. Because he was thinking maybe damaging like the calf or whatever on
Yep.
one of the legs as he's about to step down,
Start
causes a
slashing.
crash.
Are you
At
gonna
the
start?
very least, gives Yartar.
So start
fighting
slashing
chance.
at the wicker to try and sort of
Yeah,
break
like
it up, because it's
mhm.
acting like an exoskeleton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, smash a specific spot. Kind of like, what happened in the volcano or the fire giant,
Yeah.
but
So what
instead of water, it's giants.
what weapon are you using to do this? I mean, this is wicker. The big stuff is this big around, but
Yeah.
it's so tall. There's lots of it.
Mhm.
But
I mean, other than Morning Skull, the only thing I really have is a short sword.
yep, that works. That makes sense
They're
to me.
Both piercing.
No,
But-
no, that's a short sword has got an edge on it.
that's true.
Varen, how are you? What are you doing? You see that? You see him pull out a sword and just start cutting away. And every time he cuts one, first of all, a hand starts coming out further and further. But you kind of also see that this whole leg is starting to buckle a little bit, even with the first couple of cuts.
Okay. In that case, I will rifle through my brain and be like, I don't cut fire because I use a staff. I don't
Yeah.
have anything like that. And then I remember the one little spell that everyone should know, and I kind of like look at my fingers and I snap, and there's teeny tiny little fire.
Yep.
I have prestidigitation.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll just kind of be like, and just kind of touch it, and kind of as I'm climbing, just
So, yeah,
as
you
I'm
can-
going,
so,
light it
yeah,
in
see,
places.
So, again, I've always watched this in a movie, and now in my head, the camera pans around behind that thigh, so it swings towards us. We see your fingers light up, and a tiny little fire starts. The other hand reaches up. You cast again. Another little fire starts, and you just keep climbing, leaving this trail of fire behind you. Meanwhile, on the other thigh, up the calf. Between the two of you, you just saved Yartar because the fire starts to burn the one leg. On the other leg, Bickford, they start to fall out, and it's like watching a boneless chicken ranch. There's nothing that the skeleton or the giants inside don't have their own skeletal structure. They just kind of ooze out as you rip this apart. So this leg starts to collapse, which is a good thing because this 100-foot tall wicker undead giant starts to burn, and you're less than 200 yards from the city of Yartar. It takes another step, big flaming chunks falling off into the grass. Falls to one knee, starts trying to crawl towards Yartar like its last thought is get to this city, and it's burning more and more. I'm assuming at some point the two of you jump off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leap to the ground, roll away. I don't even need rolls for this. And it's just... And... Oh... Come on, brain. Really? The Hindenburg? That's what you gave me? That's the last hand that comes down. It's just... that framework, right? All burning inside. The undead giants burning inside as it comes to a stop this far from the city wall. The two of you hear in the distance, "Ooh!"
That sounds
I mean-
like Beowulf.
Oh,
Of the humanity.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, that doesn't mean anything to me yet.
Yeah, yeah. You don't know Beowulf that
Um,
well.
Our werewolf buddy probably is trying to get us to come to where he is. He's either in trouble or he's found Idicus, which means he's probably in trouble.
Fair enough. Lead the way. I'm
And
following
the
you.
two of you tear through the length of the city. That timing thing, you know, when you're late, when you know there's trouble and you just can't get there, it's almost like a dream. It just takes too long. Everything takes too long. Everything takes too long. You finally crack into the main square of the city just in time to see the boat that you're here to get. People, the last of the people leaping off of it into the river, onto the docks, breaking legs and walking away looking happy with only a broken leg. And in the distance just behind that, the ship starts to drift downriver. It's been untied. On the very, very top, you see silhouetted against the moon, because absolutely, and it's a full moon tonight, Beowulf, so there
It's
you
always
go.
a full moon.
Especially when we do this scene. So there's the whole ship, the whole 3 levels of it, and at the top, highlighted against the moon, silhouetted, is Beowulf in full bay. Ooh! You continue to run. You make the leap. We're just gonna play this out. You run down and you just through all the people pushing the other way. It's like trying to get onto a train that everybody's trying to get off. The ship is leaping. It's leading away and away and away. But you finally break through, run down the dock. I need acrobatics checks or athletics. Your choice. Oh,
21,
brilliantly.
nice.
Absolutely brilliantly. The two of you just like twin 3-point landings on the deck. The last of the crew on the deck just goes, "Yeah, I'm out," and just turns around and jumps onto the dock before you leave, leaving the two of you on the main deck. Beowulf up
Right.
on the top.
Up on the top.
Yeah,
in the
because you're
mast,
on the
yeah.
top. You are actually Beowulf standing beside the wheelhouse. And the only person that hasn't left is the person. They're not the captain. They're just some, like, they've only got one little stripe on their shoulder, but they're holding the wheel and just making sure that it doesn't drag down the dock as it drifts away. The rowers haven't started rowing yet.
Okay, so
Idicus? Oh, I just want to quickly cut away to Idicus. Did you come up on the top with Beowulf? No, so you're still down on the main floor with the. Are you on the empty floor then, all by yourself in the casino?
Yeah.
with the frog,
With the frog.
Yep.
unless the frog stayed on my shoulder, but
No, the frog actually denied the ride refused the ride from you so that they could stay with Idicus. So yeah, there's you and the frog sitting in this quiet little section of ship. The frog's just kind of quietly sitting on a table. Every once in a while, it reaches over with a back foot and kicks a pile of chips off the table like a cat. Knocks him on the floor. He looks kind of bored.
Yeah, he's trying the hardest he ever has to listen.
What are you listening for?
No, because Beowulf said stay here.
Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah,
He did
you're
say
trying to
you can
follow
play
the
with
rules.
the
Gotcha.
chips.
Yeah.
You do have permission to play with the chips.
Well, he's watching the frog do it, so
Yeah.
there you go.
but that little kid ADHD thing is happening where he's starting to like sway.
Yeah. Starting to
just
get excited about it.
crying.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're gonna leave it there because I don't want to expose any. The frog got a big exposure. I want to keep some secrets. So we're gonna just leave the two of them sitting there, as the four of you land thump 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 on the boat, or thump 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 thump. The camera cuts to the four of you, and we see two of you on the main deck, one of you upstairs, and one down in the empty casino. The oars come out because the ship's moving, so it must be time to go to work, and they start to row downstream.
Beowulf's gonna walk into that the boathouse, I guess you called it, where the steering mechanism is.
Yeah.
He's going to, in his best human voice, instead of his usual wolfy-like.
Yeah.
So he's going to dig deep down into his inner human and basically say, "Captain says to keep going. Go ahead and pursue the usual route."
And the head turns. They've had their back to you this whole time, and the uniform like kind of prevented you from seeing who they were. Plus the lighting. Plus you just got here. The head turns inside the hood, and you see a Tabaxi's face turn to look at you. You realize only at this point that their hands are like this inside the wheel.
Yeah. He's going
Try not to poop on the floor.
I'm civilized. I normally do my business where everybody else does.
We'll be fine then. And they start to steer the ship out into the middle of the channel.
Thank you.
Unfazed,
I
cat
will-
style.
Yeah. I'll check in on you later just to make sure everything's going smoothly.
Very good, Captain.
So he just turns around and
This
Walk-
cat knows which
walks
side his
out.
bread is buttered on. He just called you Captain. So yeah, and you just
Yeah.
take it and walk out. Absolutely.
he just takes it and walks out and is like, "Yeah, I'm the captain of the ship now. This is mine."
This is the second time you've been a captain. And the ship starts to make its way downstream. So, the four of you, I guess, gather probably in the casino on the main floor? It's kind of the largest
Beowulf
enclosed
will
area.
go down. Well, Beowulf was wanting to go down to where the rowers are just to make sure that, he gives them the "let's continue to do our normal stuff" type spiel,
Yeah.
and then he'll walk to the
There's
casino.
been a change in management.
Oh yeah, all you hear is to your speeches. We still get paid in the morning.
If you survive,
Great shit. Now, you realize they're not like tied down here. They're not chained down here. These are paid professional rowers. They're not slaves. So
Oh, yeah.
this is their job. Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Union.
Beowulf is now taking the role of the captain,
Oh,
so
yeah.
He's
a
gonna say,
firm introduction. Yeah.
as long as you guys survive and you do your jobs properly, you will get paid.
And they just kind of grin and keep rowing. So, with that, the four of you find yourselves together, floating slowly down the Desserin River, south of Yartar. Behind you, the remains of a giant burning in a field. The city itself starting to settle down,
Just starting to realize how close to getting fucked they were.
and from both sides at the same time. Yes,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
and into the darkness, the ship sails. What? I opened the floor because there's a conversation that needs to be had. You guys got to figure out how to get. Oh, by the way, the on the map here, the isles that you are looking for are, I think they're unknown isles. So yes, they don't exist on the map. They are sort of, for purposes of this, somewhere out near where it says Sea of Swords.
Okay.
I'm still in the chamber.
Okay, you stayed.
No. I'm my token
Oh,
is
yes.
not on the main map.
Okay. I have you on the main map, but I have you on a different page. That's right. Here we go. Fixed. There you go. Now you're back on the map. All right. Okay. So, yeah, the boat starts to drift south along the Desserin River. The river runs south all the way to Waterdeep. And then there's the Whalebone Islands, and then the islands you're looking for up in that area.
Well, it looks like we're heading downriver. He's gonna take out the dismembered hand.
Yep.
And show it to them and show them what the image looks like.
Sure.
And of course, I'm sure it's still moving.
Yep.
The prior captain was kind enough to give me this before he somehow passed away. I think I'm gonna have a snack later. Either way,
Of course.
I have
Wow,
this arm.
this captain
that
power has
has-
gone to your head immediately. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it. That's just the way he is.
Yes.
So he's gonna look at the rest of them. It's like, well, we have this arm. This arm is gonna show us where to go within the isles. So hopefully, somebody besides me can make sense of this, because right now I'm a little confused just looking at it.
Mhm.
I don't have the magic know-how to figure this thing out.
Where are we going? There's like a catch up of just like thinking for a second and like, why am I here?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, so
what happened?
what happens then at that point is Beowulf will explain to Baron what has been going on, and then he's like, well, this is the final piece of the map that is, well, he turns around and takes off his coat and shows him the map on his back.
Right.
And
Um,
when we
it's
go
like-
there,
and it's-
that's where we find the dragon, the blue one, or is
No.
this a different thing?
You're going on this boat is where the kidnapped King Hecaton of the Storm Giants is being kept. It was his kidnapping that is part of the breaking of the ordning. So you got to get him and get him back to Maelstrom, where you guys just came from. Which involves going to fight whatever's on this Kraken ship.
Hmm.
Mm.
I think I need to go get some air to take all this in, and
Yeah.
I'll step back on the deck of the ship, like out of the gambling parlor, off on my
Yeah.
own for a minute.
Okay. Idicus?
Um,
Yeah.
Idicus is actually gonna follow Varen.
Okay.
No, that's not good.
When
Okay,
does anything because does ever any good?
So Idicus is following. Okay.
And by not very good, I mean very good.
Excellent. Bickford, you were about to go next?
Yeah, Bigford's actually gonna look for the captain's like quarters. And
Okay, yeah.
he wants to do a little intel.
Okay.
maybe hoping that the captain had a little bit more than maybe, because he wasn't present for the interrogation,
Yes.
but maybe
The
there's
exploding.
some more information that's
Absolutely. And there will be. And that leaves us with Beowulf. Where are you going?
Well, he's going to get dressed. I'm assuming the old elf woman is still there.
No, they
Nope,
left.
she took off.
They took
Oh, they
off
decided
just
to
before
leave?
just before the ship left the dock.
He's going to see if there's anything left in the cache. If there is, he's going to go ahead and take hold of that and make it his own.
Absolutely. Yep.
Burgled
There.
place.
Yeah. I mean, it's early in the night, so there's only about 72 gold pieces and 5 silvers worth of stuff. It's probably all in silver, but yeah, 72 gold, 5 silver. Let's go with that for the takings so far for the evening, because it had just started. Like most of it would be in chips on the table at this point, right?
Right.
But so that's you searching there. Beowulf is searching the casino, money, etc. Okay, so let's start. Let's start with Bickford. You go, it's always in the same place. The captain's cabins are always in the same place. Back one floor down, right? All the way to the back, because you got the best view. You get there very easily. The door is locked, but it's a joke. I mean, you're a rogue, right? I mean, I'm not going to make you roll. It's just you pop it open, step in. It is, and I'm quoting Storm King's Thunder here, a tribute to bad taste. It's purple tapestries and green carpets and shag on the walls and cracked mirrors on the walls and like portholes, and part of it's done in a sort of an aquatic theme, but another part of it's done in faux Victorian. It's awful.
Bickford rubs his eyes. Ow. Okay.
There is one immediate common theme before you even start looking for anything. There is images of krakens drawn on paper. There's images of kraken carved into the desk. There's pictures of kraken on the walls crushing ships.
Dude's got a tentacle fetish. Okay.
And now give me an investigation while you look around. 13. Okay. You find a lot of stuff. I mean, there's maps and all kinds of stuff. There's these kind of raving notes that you get the impression they're probably written after he's had one of his brain episodes. You figure out what Idicus figured out earlier. Something is controlling him from a distance, and you find in his fish tank there's a little octopus that's like his pet octopus that swims around. And then below that, there's one of those little treasure chests. And in the treasure chest, you see a little blue crystal about this long that's hard to see because of all the bubbles coming up. But it's clearly not part of the treasure chest.
Well, that octopus is probably going to come after me the second I stick my hand in there.
As soon as you get close, it comes up near the top. Boop, 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 boop. It looks at you with its big octopus eyes.
I'm going to use
Guy's got
Mage Hand.
great style. Guy's the only person in the world that can pull off the entire rainbow in one outfit.
Wait, I missed that.
The chat's saying, did Guy decorate this place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what Bickford's going to do is he's going to get the octopus's attention.
Yep.
And as he's doing that, he's going to cast Mage Hand and use the Mage Hand to take the crystal out.
Okay. Octopi are smart. It doesn't work, but it attacks the Mage Hand and it just keeps going through because it's not really almost not really there.
Mm-hmm.
And it very quickly figures that out, and it goes down and tries to cover the treasure chest. And your Mage Hand is capable of 10 pounds, so it kind of lifts it up a little bit and it reaches in with its thumb. Like, it's a real fight, right, between your Mage Hand and the tiny octopus. The octopus is biting madly away, and you can tell it's poisonous as hell. But eventually, your hand gets the little crystal out and pulls it out and comes towards you, dripping. It looks like a tiny crystal tentacle.
I don't have Arcana, so it's not like I can.
I mean, you don't need Arcana to put together logic in this room, right? So, yeah.
Yeah.
This is
there's
obviously
clearly
something important. Yeah.
Yeah, this is something important. He wouldn't have hit it with a clear, stalwart guardian.
Yes.
You know. He's gonna
The
look
hand
at it,
is
you know,
in front
just
of
sort
you.
of. He's gonna, pocket it and maybe talk to the guys about it later. Before he
You
leaves-
specifically did that, so I don't have to ask. You touched it. Give me a wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
8. Yeah. You know when Frodo puts on the ring and the eyes like that, but a kraken. Instead of the fire surrounding you, it's crushing pressure. Thousands of feet of seawater crushing you into a pulp. But before you can go, the eye of a kraken looms up out of the darkness and blinks once at you knowingly. The shadow moves away and turns, and you see the tentacles. And then you see them spread in the darkness as the beak comes towards you, and then you snap out of it back on the ship. You have a raging headache.
Oh, motherfucker. Okay. Wraps it up in a leather
Yep.
scrap. Puts it in his bags. Looks for some rum. Because this is a
Yeah.
nautical ship. There's
Yeah.
gotta
Oh,
be
yes.
rum.
Absolutely, there is.
He's gonna fight that headache with his own.
Okay, so you just sort of kick back in this gaudyville, looking out into the darkness, the water sparkling, the phosphorescence of the wake behind the ship as you row down this river. Beowulf, you're back in the casino. You grab up the money and you start looking around, and you see a couple of other things of interest. One of them is a huge, there's a huge round table in the middle of this room that doesn't look like any of the other tables because it's built into the floor. Like, you can't pull a chair up to it. It's like a cylinder coming up out of the floor, right? It's got no legs. It's just solid walls and a flat circular top. And from inside that, you keep hearing this sort of clunk, 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 clunk. Very light metal on metal sound.
Of course, being as curious as he is, he's gonna go take a look.
You find it's actually got a hidden clasp to open a lid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 6-foot lid, so you can push it up. What you see underneath it is a huge compass. It's fully 6 feet across, but it doesn't have north, east, south, or west on it.
Mm-hmm.
It just has one symbol on the rim, and it's the Kraken. And you're as you go around the bend in the river, you see the arrow of where you're actually pointing sort of move towards it in a way. So it's a Kraken compass. You always know where the Kraken is.
A crack
I hope you
A crack compass. Yeah. So you find that. You also
he makes a mental note.
Yep. You also find all kinds of things that people left behind of other very little necklaces and other things, trinkets of minor value. These are pretty much commoners, but that's the big one.
Yeah. He's just gonna eat any food he finds and then take care of the remains of the captain.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of food and drink, and the captain can be thrown over the side with great ease. Yes, there's not much of him left.
No, he
frankly.
eats the captain.
Oh, you're eating the captain, right? Pardon me. Yeah, throw the bones over the side.
He keeps like a femur. So he can just later.
I just had the image of you trying to get through a very narrow door with the femur, just dunk, dunk, like a dog. My brain is fun. My brain is fun to live in. Okay, so that's what you find, and now outside, Varen. First, you're out there by yourself. You get out into the fresh air. The river air is blowing past you. The city's behind. The fire's out.
There's just a look as I come out the door, just kind of like a little glance left and right, and a look at the smoke on the horizon. He puts his head on his head. He's like, "What a waste!" And he'll look down at his shadow, and it's exactly what he thought it was going to be. It's instead of where you would see a humanoid shape, it is different. It is like a tree, and there are leaves on it, but it is like, think about like late fall. There's like not a ton of leaves left. There's definitely like a good amount, but there aren't as many. And as he looks down at this cast across the deck top, he's just like, I know, it's wasted opportunity. It wasn't my fault. And a small skeletal head pokes around the tree and just kind of shakes its head and goes up and just plucks one leaf off and pulls it and lets it fall to the ground. And he winces and, kind of shakes at it. I'll get him. Get him. It's fine. These people seem to know more about him than I do. It's gonna be fine. I need more time. Just fuck off. And he'll kind of turn back and lean over the edge of the ship again.
And as you do, that shadow sort of drifts off the deck of the ship and out onto the water, and it's kind of broken up by the moving surface of the water and dissipates.
And I was expecting no one to be behind me, so I have no idea.
Well, at that exact moment, you become aware that Iticus is standing behind you in the door. Iticus, you didn't see the shadow just from where you were. I mean, you just got here, but you see Varen just leaning over the rail looking thrashed.
Hey.
You okay?
I'm good. Are you okay? You must have just gotten here.
Yes.
And there's like a nod. Yeah, I'm fine. I just needed some air. Just a little stressed,
It scary. Helping people.
Right, helping people. I like helping people, sure. I do. And it's not well hidden. He is feigning the ability to lie.
Yeah.
Almost to himself, perhaps.
You're different.
Yeah.
Bigfried does magic too, but it's different than yours.
Yeah. He's magic? He does magic? Why didn't he?
Yes.
He cast invisibility on you.
Right.
It was a big fight. It was several minutes ago. Stuff
You
slips your
forget
mind
when you're the one
when
that's
you're old.
invisible.
Yeah.
There was a giant
I just remembered setting it on fire. Right. No, he does do magic. That's right. Yeah. Do you do magic other than talking to people? Because like
No.
mm,
And he kind of like tries to copy something that Bigford does. Just like trying it. And he is like,
No.
mm,
I sneaky. I small.
gotcha. Well, look, I'm gonna help y'all find this Kraken, and then I'm gonna help y'all find this giant problem that everybody's dealing with that Bigford seems to know a lot about, and then I'm sure it'll all be just fine.
It not all fine, but yeah. Their people depend on us. And I failed to protect someone. So please stay, help.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely help. Just so stressed.
Mhm.
I'll definitely help. I will help deal with this problem.
And you look down, and I mean, it's a 3 foot tall warforged with one goblin eye and one metal eye. But the face, the emotion is just radiating. The intensity of the question kind of rings through you again. Will you stay? Will you help? Except this time the words aren't in Idicus's broken common. They're in the voice from the tree.
I'll stay, I'll help as long as I can.
And actually, with that, he'll, because Idicus only does this with people he trusts.
Yep.
Takes down his hood, takes down his scarf. So you finally see he does not have a mouth. He doesn't have a nose. He's just plain from down.
Yep.
From down, and he runs over and hugs you.
Thank you. Thank you. We lose. I lose people. No more.
And there is a very mechanical pat of just like this like a recognition of this is bad. Like this is a very bad situation for me to be in. And like just trying his best to be reassuring given that circumstance.
Yeah. And just not being very good at it, but not for lack of effort. Oh wow. It's only 7:30, but no, that's a credit roll scene if I've ever seen one. So with that, the four of you are on your way to face a kraken, a ship full of people powerful enough to kidnap a giant king, and to save the world by replacing the Ordning. Oh, there is still that blue dragon with the scepter that needs dealing with too. But that can wait for next week. For now...
One fire at a time.
One fire at a time. For now, a big, huge thank you to everybody tonight. Those are the nights I really liked. Technically, we accomplished nothing. Like, we didn't, no goals were achieved, nothing happened, but it was a great night because the story moved in spite of that. The characters developed. We had this chance, these moments of peace in amongst the mayhem where you get to really build these characters. And this is getting, like I said, this is heading I'm calling it the end game, and I'm not off. There's, you guys have got 2 basic missions left to wrap up this campaign. So it's getting serious time. So this is where we cut at the end of the second movie, and we will start the third movie next week. So with that, huge thank yous to everybody. Solar Dasher, thank you. Beowulf giving command and just changing. I love it. It's just because it's the same thing you did last time you were giving command. This is how Beowulf commands. It's consistent. I love it. Sarah, Idicus. Oh, I felt so bad when you killed the 2 people downstairs because I knew what the lesson was, and it's damn. But you absolutely pulled it out of there because that scene right at the end with Varen was stunning. That was Idicus's speech again about I can't lose any more people, and it just gets more heart-wrenching every time. So thank you. I appreciate that so much. Bison. Oh, Bigfrid, normally the voice of reason, but tonight it's like, nope, jump on a giant. Let's see what we can do. Let's get him down. Hamstring a giant. I love it.
Well, I mean, with Bigfrid, the wicker giant represented that lich, and that lich is standing in the way between him and his people.
Yeah.
Going home.
Yep. You did a huge step towards. You took away the. I mean, I hesitate to use it because in this case the minion's actually bigger than the master, but you took out the minion today, so you don't have to fight them later when you go and find this Lich Master. But that's going to happen after this storyline ends, but yeah, that's when... I always do these at the end of these long adventures. The last thing we're going to do isn't the last fight. We will gather the next week and we will do a What Happened Next session where everybody tells me what their characters did over the next month, year, 5 years, 10 years, life, whatever it is, how this changed them and how it all played out. So start thinking about that. You've probably got 2 or 3 months, but yeah, start thinking about that because that's going to happen at the end of these. Lots of tears, so bring your tissues. It's going to happen. But thank you. One more thank you, Sky. Thank you for coming and playing in this game. I love Varen. He's all confidence on the outside and absolutely not on the inside. I love it. He's failing, and that's magnificent. But there's this chance to succeed by being different, by developing, by changing who he is. And you took that chance tonight, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how you make that switch. I'm really looking forward to this character developing. So thank you very much for that. Oh, chat, as always, I see all the regulars over there. You guys are awesome. I love it. It's been a long week for me, and I know for some of you too, because a lot of you tuned into the Paradise Productions games earlier this weekend. And yeah, I'm talking about another channel right now. They raised $5,000 for the Jasper's Game Day Foundation. Their goal for the whole weekend was $1,000, and they made $5,000, and I could not be happier. That is enough to literally, given the cause of that foundation, that is literally going to save lives. There's just no other way to put that. So thank you to everybody that was part of that, and everybody that's been part of our show, and everybody that shows up every week to watch. There's something like 1/7 of the population of the world puts out a video in any given month. So all of that content out there, and you come and watch us, I love it. Thank you so much. Every single one of you is special, and every single one of you, I love you from the bottom of my being, because I wouldn't do this without you. So, one more thank you to the people on YouTube. In the future, hit the like button. You watched, I know it was only an hour and 20 minutes today, but it was intense. Hit that like button if you wouldn't mind.
And a thank you to you, Kevin, for running this all.
Oh, thank you. And by mentioning me, you reminded me of somebody else. Tune in on Wednesday to watch Eddie run a game for us, Poseidon's Promise, for some new folks to the channel and some of our regulars. I'm looking forward to that a lot, although I'm going to have to watch the VOD because I'm actually in another game. Imagine where my anxiety level is going to be in another game, not being able to watch the first show on this channel that I didn't produce, and that I'm not running, and that I'm not in. It is so exciting and so weird and so uncomfortable, and I love every second of it, because push your limits, folks, every single friggin' day. Do something that makes you uncomfortable, because the next day you do it, it won't. I said I would sing on stream, and I did it really, really poorly, but I've done it half a dozen times since, and every one of them's been better, so keep doing this. But before I get carried away, until next time, as always, please be nice to each other. Good night.
Good night.
Night, y'all.